Hey, what is going on, crypto people? Happy Saturday. Saturday vibes with Crypto C's. Come and hang out. Look, it's Flare Rewards Day. We got to celebrate that, right? Got to celebrate that. By the way, the Bitcoin price structure is looking eerily similar to 2019. Yeah, found that out from our guy over at Real Vision. We'll cover that. And a blast from the past actually showed up on the post from Real Vision. A blast from the past. We're going to cover that as well. We'll cover his little post, a comment as well. Interesting stuff. Saturday vibes with the Crypto C's. Come hang out. Interesting set a couple of games, NFL games. $200 million injury. $200 million injury. That's brutal. Jordan Love went down. Jordan Love went down. And of course, Saquon, of course, Barkley goes and scores 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns in his debut on a crappy field. Of course. New York Football Giants are in trouble. They're in trouble. I can just see it right now. They're in trouble. They try to, yeah, they're in trouble. Anyway, they are in trouble, fam. Look, what's going on with the market? It's doing what it does. According to CoinGecko, the market is just doing what the market does. I'll cover some of these numbers. I hope my guy Steve for real estate chalks on because I don't know much about this jewel token. Still not sold. Still not sold. Still not sold. I'm not saying, oh, wow. Okay. Wait a minute. For a second, the CoinGecko had Bitcoin at 50,000, 50. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. When did that happen? But it's straightened back up. Straightened back up for sure. I mean, like, what's up with that? 50K. Weren't expecting those numbers. Yep, it's 54,000. Good to see you guys. Appreciate you guys checking in on a Saturday. I don't know, football, it's college football, What's going on, crypto? How are you, my friend? Life is good, man. Life is good over here in the crypto season home. Flare Rewards. I don't know. I think the Flare Rewards came today. We'll talk about that. We're going to hear from Tika Tawari. We're going to actually check in with Tika Tawari. He's kind of doing his own thing now. He's doing his own thing. It's interesting. Pooky's in the building. What's up with you, bro? A little blast from the past. What did we get today? Did we get rewards or the flare drop? I don't know. Which one? Which one did we get? I don't know. Was that the flare drop? It was a drop, huh? Okay. Nice. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. Mm-hmm. Very nice. Pooky, what you know about a personal delegation account? On Flare, have you checked it out? Have you checked that out? Crypto says, yep, always nice to get some FLR for free. And it's not really for free. If you think about it, it's not for free. It's for your attention. That's what it's for. It's for your attention. They're trying to create network adoption. Pooky says, I've seen that, but I have no idea what it is. I tested it out just to see what's good. It still gets you still get your normal stuff. I wanted to see what it was. I looked into it. And my guess to admit, we'll cover it, but my guess to admit it's for places and countries that want to tax stuff that you get. It feels like it's a somewhat of a tax strategy for some people. Yeah, that's what it seemed like. That's what it seems like. We'll cover it as well. Yeah, we're going to hear from Tika Tuar. We're going to go over the market because, again, it's just doing what it does. So I tested out the personal delegation account just to see what it did and, whatever, and it showed up. And I'll probably turn it off. But I wanted to see what it was about and maybe discuss it with you guys to see, because you're limited in the options that you can do with it while it's in the personal delegation account. Obviously, if you can withdraw it to your main account, then you can begin to do other things. I think it's interesting that Flair thought about that. And I was very, very curious just to see who might be using that. But we'll cover that in a minute as well. Let's go over some of the market numbers real quick on CoinGecko, get over that. And then we're going to get into Tika Tuari. I'm not going to do banner bubbles, I don't think. But it is the Saturday vibes, just hanging out, just talking some stuff. Very, very interesting to see Tika Tuari posting. All right, so let me refresh this and go over the numbers, go over the market. According to CoinGecko, the total cryptocurrency market cap is set $2 trillion. We were just under $2 trillion. Remember that? I was shocked to see us go below $2 trillion just the other day. Bitcoin dominance is 54% or so. Bitcoin is trading at $54,000 again. On the 30-day, Bitcoin is down 13%. Ethereum is trading at $2,268 again. On the 30-day, it is down 16%. Solana is trading at $127, and on the 30-day, it is down 22%. XRP is trading at 52 cents on the 30-day. XRP is down 15%. The market is just doing what the market does. It's just doing what it does. Yeah, so I don't know if I should get some artificial superintelligence tokens or some HNT tokens. I have not decided yet. All right, fam. So there it is. That's the market. It's just doing what it does. Let's take a listen to Tika Tuari. This is interesting. He tweets out, don't get caught up in price fluctuations. What really matters is adoption. What really matters is adoption.
This is all you need to know to make a fortune. I don't rely on the price action to tell me what I should think about my investment. I focus on the most important driver of value when it comes to Bitcoin, and that's adoption. Is adoption increasing or is it decreasing? Are there more people coming to the ecosystem or less people? If there are more people coming to the ecosystem, Bitcoin's going to rally. Then F's going to rally. And then the altcoins are going to rally. This is all you need to know to make a fortune on these assets, especially during times like this when people are running around scared with their, like a chicken with their head chopped off. They are not looking at what truly drives value in this asset, and it's adoption.
It's adoption. Network adoption. It's adoption. Great question. Are more people coming into the ecosystem or more people leaving the ecosystem? Great question. It's adoption. It is adoption. Let me go to this chat here. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. That would be really, really cool. It helps to get the algorithm set up on YouTube so we can get this channel out to more people who are unaware this new asset class is being built right underneath their noses. They don't know. And we need more of us. We need more of the average Joe and the average Jane into the digital asset space. We need more. Sure, they may start with a stable coin and Bitcoin, but they will venture out and they will begin to educate and level up. And that's what we need. We need more people really, really leveled up about what is going on in this world, like in a big time way. How many of you guys feel like you've gotten a lot smarter, right? You've gotten a lot smarter since you entered the digital asset space, right? That's what we need. We need more people understanding the real deal, understanding the real inflation, understanding the real debasement of the currency, understanding the real central banking model. And people hear about this banking cartel, but what is it? right? What is it really doing? All right, so that's the same one. All right, it says here, like, why do I have two of the same? All right, there we go. Another one from Tika. Check this out. If you're in a position to add more Bitcoin, go for it. If not, don't sweat it. Enjoy your day. Soak up the rest of the summer and let time do the heavy lifting.
Asset class. And so if you are in a position to add to your Bitcoin position, do so. If you're not in a position to add to it, then don't worry about it. Just go enjoy your day, your life, what's left of the summer, and just let time do the heavy lifting for you. And what do we have working in our favor? We have an adoption cycle, a brand new traditional financial adoption cycle that is just beginning. We have global governments that are addicted to easy monetary policies that provides an incredibly bullish backdrop for our asset class. And so put your faith in that rather than in the day-to-day action that you see in the price of Bitcoin.
Good for him. Good for him. You know, learning all this stuff, doing this stuff, a lot of this stuff himself, which is interesting. He needs to get himself, get him some help there for sure. But again, you got to know your teachers. Hugely important. We got to know our teachers, right? It's hugely important. Yep. We got to know our teachers, and all we can do, crypto is like, yeah, I agree. Most folks are so dense. Yeah, absolutely. And all you got to, for me, I just had to, once I tried to share, I had to come to the conclusion that I shared. It's on you now. I shared with my boys in 2016, 2017. I shared. Pooky says, I definitely have become a lot wiser and really understand how money really works. Indeed. That's what they don't want. They don't want us to become a better educator. I just saw a post on X about Brazil, with the one or two people in there trying to shut down Elon Musk and trying to censor, suggesting he should be censoring free speech and all that other kind of stuff, kicked them out of Brazil and the whole 9 yards. I just saw a post, a major rally in Brazil. Guess what it was about? Freedom of speech. About freedom of speech. And a lot of people think that this whole thing about this digital asset space is about money and making money. And sure, we're going to make money. But it's really about all the freedoms and the attack on those freedoms. That's what the digital asset space is really about. Getting back to that ethos, freedom of speech, as one of them. Now, a new one is, financial transmissions, being able to freely transmit. They're trying to take that away. It's really all about the freedoms that they're trying. Remember that? The ability to choose our own money and where we store our own money. Remember that? We said it on the channel all the time. Who came up with the idea for us to store our money? No, don't hold on to it yourself. Put it over here. We'll protect it. You going for what? We'll protect it. Legendary. We're under assault from all angles, not just speech. That's right. That's what the digital asset space is about, becoming aware. That's what it's bringing to the masses. A next level awareness of the fact that they're trying to steal the freedoms. That's what they're doing. They're trying to steal the freedoms. Think about it. That's what they're trying to do. Legendary, I appreciate you checking in, bro. I mean, that's what it's ultimately about. You ever notice how I wish I could find the quote. There was a quote. I don't know if it was in the founding fathers deal or during that time frame or not, but it was this quote from someone who said, when a nation begins to value entertainment, when it begins to value entertainment over the essential civil liberties, we know that nation is in trouble. When they begin to value entertainment, every time you turn around, someone's getting paid $200, $300, $400 million to entertain us. You ever think about that? Love you. You ever think about that? Jamal Murray, 4-year, $200 million. Jordan Love, $200 million. I don't know how many years it was. Aaron Judge, how many hundreds of millions did Aaron Judge just get? Was it 300 or 400 million? When a nation begins to value entertainment over basic civil liberties. Legendary, nice. I love it. Legendary said, I was at the auto garage yesterday. I think I woke up a couple of people about what's really happening. Yeah. Like, people don't understand what's really going on. I go to the grocery store and I'm like, just 3 years ago, this same grocery store would be empty. You know why it was empty? Because more people were going out and more people were using shopping apps to get their groceries and stuff delivered to them. Guess what's going on today? Less people going out and less people are using the shopping apps. It's amazing. And they don't understand why. Because we're in the digital asset space, we understand what's going on right now. We literally understand. And guess what we also understand? We understand that there's an answer. There's an asset class that's outpacing the debasement of our money. There's an asset class with an asset that has greater value than all the other assets out there. And we know about it. They don't know about it. Pooky mentions 2 great books, The Great Taking and The Confessions of an Economic Hitman. Part 1 and 2, baby. Right? So got the flare. I guess it was the flare drops today. That was pretty cool. Legendary, Dave, you heard about this personal delegation account that Flare has set up? I think it's interesting. Let me see if I can connect one of my wallets. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, so you can enable it. What does it say? Account information done. Okay, I'm not gonna enable. Should I just do my other one? Yeah, I'll do my other one. Let's do this. Let's do this. So it's interesting. And you could do it for whatever wallet you want. Let me share it first. Let me get this hooked up. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me share this real quick. It says main account. You see how it says main account, delegation account, and then emissions. The emissions, obviously, is if you're participating on SparkDex or Kinetic or Blaze Swap for the emissions. But it's this delegation account. And what you have to do is you have to enable it, right? And your rewards, whatever you're going to get, would go to that account as opposed to your main account, whether that's a MetaMask or whether that's a Bifrost, right? It goes to this account. Now there was a little Q&A. Where was the Q&A on this account? Where was that at? Oh, right here. Account information, right here. Right here. I was like, where is that? What is a personal delegation account? Every address on the Flare network can have its own personal delegation account. A PDA is essentially an address meant for temporary storage of funds. It has a limited set of possible actions, and you can only withdraw funds from it to your main account. From the personal delegation account to your main account. Only way you can to withdraw it. It says, how can I use a PDA? The PDA allows you to delay the realization of earnings from FTSO delegations without risking the loss of not claiming them in time, since the claiming for past epochs is limited. Your PDA can serve as an intermediary storage for rewards that at some later time be transferred to your main account, which can lead to positive tax benefits in certain jurisdictions. Interesting that they thought about this. What actions can I perform as an owner of a PDA? You can delegate the tokens held on your PDA to an FTSO data provider and claim the rewards. Moreover, you can claim the rewards you are entitled to on your main account directly to your PDA. You can also withdraw funds from the PDA, but only to your main account. Interesting. Can I close my PDA? Yes, this action will also transfer any wrapped Flare tokens still on your PDA account to your main account. So if you go to hit disable, it'll go to your main account, I guess, or you can just withdraw it directly. But in any case, you can also reopen your PDA at a later time. It says, why are there no FLR tokens shown on my PDA? All FLR tokens received to your PDA will be wrapped automatically. Therefore, you will only see wrapped FLR tokens on your PDA. Consequently, you do not need to wrap any tokens on your PDA before delegating them. Can the tokens in my PDA be used for voting on governance proposals? Listen to this. It says not directly, but you can delegate your votes to some other accounts like your main account. Which can use them in the voting process. If I receive token airdrops from other entities to my PDA, can I withdraw the tokens? It says yes. You can call a special function where you state the address of the token that has been airdropped and the amount you want to withdraw to your main account. Isn't that interesting? That's interesting to me. That's interesting that they thought about that. Don't you agree? Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. That would be super, super cool. We always like to have just as many likes as we got viewers in the stream. How about that? How about that? Freaking PDA account. Interesting. Some people were worried about taxes. A PDA account. Isn't that interesting? I'd imagine there's a little strategy to that. You can enable it at any time, disable it at any time. Maybe there's some benefits to it. Interesting, right? It's very, very interesting to me. Yeah, I tested it out. I just wanted to see what was good. I just needed to see what was good, and it's good, isn't it? It's good, right? Yeah. It is absolutely good. Interesting, right? Pooky. That's very, very interesting. That is very, very interesting, fam. A little PDA account. So let's get over to this Real Vision. The guy from Real Vision did this post. Mastermind 5. Flare, I read today, has ties with CCP. I read that post as well, just like Ether. Good news about news. Is it news at all? I don't know. I would real news or fake news? That's kind of how I would look at it. Isn't that the account that is a 35% penalty if you withdraw? I don't think so. It didn't say anything about it. I would think that if there was a penalty to withdraw, are you talking about the 50% penalty if you claim early? Legendary? I would think in discussing the PDA that would be like in the Q&A part, that would definitely be right. You wouldn't want to withdraw to a surprise 35% penalty. That would not be great. That would not be great. Right? That would not be great. So I don't know about that news Mastermind 5. I saw it, I read it. I don't know. I do think that when you're thriving, people try to tear you down. Do know that. I do know that for sure. Let me see if I can't find this post from oh, there it is. There it is right there. All right. This guy's name is Julian Patel. He is the head of macro research at Global Macro Investor. He's at Real Vision as well. Head of asset allocation at XPAM, which is a hedge fund of hedge funds. This is what he said. He said, this year's Bitcoin price is starting to look eerily similar to 2019. Take a close look at the chart. It's almost a perfect fractal of what we saw back then. Bitcoin has been stuck in a consolidation phase. And interestingly, just like in 2019, this consolidation has lasted exactly 175 days so far. We're now approaching that critical juncture where things could start moving in a big way. The next week will be incredibly important to watch. All eyes on how Bitcoin reacts as we hit this potential inflection point. Does it follow the 2019 script? Or do we see a deviation this time around? Let's see. If the fractal holds, we could be looking at some serious upside momentum coming. Your daily dose of crypto weekend hopium. This dude is really, really smart. Raul Paul sings his praises all the time. He's over at Real Vision dropping nuggets like this for free over on Real Vision. realvision.com/join. Tony Edwards says, thanks, Julian. And then this guy. How many of you guys remember this guy here? Dave Vales. How many of you guys remember this dude here? I remember him. He posted this 11 hours ago, apparently. Updated BTC chart. He said he agreed with Julian Patel, by the way. Updated BTC chart with added detail. Obviously, the future is not predictable, but it could repeat this classic Wyckoff pattern. But could it repeat this classic Wyckoff pattern? Possible, yes. I hate timelines, but it lines up for November 25th to December 4th BTC of $95,800. He said it could be quicker or slower. How many of you guys remember David? How many remember David? I remember Dave. How many guys remember the guy? Okay, Legendary, you were thinking about the Legendary said I'm wrong. I was thinking of the kinetic delegator. Gotcha. How many guys remember Dave? I remember. I remember. I forget what his name was, his YouTube name was, or his. How many guys remember him? Yep. I remember when Kimes used to have him on all the time. Then all of a sudden, not so much. Kind of like Mickey B. Fresh. Kind of like Mickey B. Fresh. Then all of a sudden, not so much. Pooky said, I don't remember him. I forget what his name was. I forget his name, but he had a different name on X. He had a different name on X, and now he's just using his real name. But yeah, I remember him. Interesting to see him commenting on the Real Vision thing. I bet you he's part of that. Real Vision also. I bet you he is. I bet. So what are we doing with them flare drops, man? I don't know. I don't even know. What are we doing? Oh, Pooky says, now I remember. Yeah. Yep. But it ain't me, it's the other people. It's the other people. Oh boy. Legendary says, I used to watch Brad all the time. Now, not so much. I hear you, bro. I am the same way. I am the same way. And it feels kind of good. Feels really good, actually. So I thought that was fascinating to see him show up on Julian Patel from Real Vision and, head of macro at Global Macro Investing. Put that out. My guy, High Altitude Investing, is like, look, it's coming. He did a live stream yesterday or earlier today. Like, it's coming. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Very, very interesting time. I know one thing. Yeah, this flare stuff, man. Got to figure it out. Are you guys in the S flare and Jewel liquidity pool? Are you guys in that one? It's pretty good. It's I'm not in it. I'm not. I got to get more comfortable with the Jewel token. You know what I mean? I'm good with S flare, right? I'm good with S flare. I'm good with flare. Just don't know about the jewel yet. I think it's going to be what, 1,500,000,000 of those jewel tokens. Again, I don't know. I'm not saying it's bad or good, or I just like I don't know. I know what it is, that type of deal. So, but you can get rewards in the token, and then you could, you know, you could swap it. My thing, if I was to get into it, I would probably swap out of at least 50% of it into something else. So if I'm getting rewards from that pool in Jewel, I would probably swap out 50% and take advantage of, the APR. It's a lot of liquidity going on over there, right? You go over to Spark Dex. All right, let's take a look at that pool. Let's take a look at this. Do I need to connect a wallet? I'll connect I'll connect MetaMask. Okay. All right, so here are the farms. They're loading. And my VPN's on. All right, so look, TBL 1.35 million. That's not a joke. The fees 8.41%. So this thing is booming, right? Again, I wish they would have a 24. SparkDex, we would like a little 24-hour deal. Now, what else has some analytics on it that did show 24-hour volume? Can't remember. You guys know there was something in Flare that had 24-hour volume of these pools. Was it Flare Metrics, maybe? What was it, guys? You remember? There was something in Flare that had the 24-hour volume for these liquidity pools. I want to say it's something from Flare Metrics. Was it the was it that latest thing from Flare Metrics that was supposed to be like a Flare Metrics? I don't even know. I can't remember. All right, so here it is here. It was this here. I thought this maybe had the 24-hour volume of the pools. Did it not? Let's go there. Flaremetrics.io. All right. Now I'm wondering how often they're keeping this up to date. All right. So the SFLR in the Jewel is not up here. Now this, because I got the SFLR wrap flare. Can you search for pools? No. So anyway, I would have liked to have seen the 24-hour. I could have sworn there was something that showed it. Yeah, see how it says 24-hour volume right here? That would be sweet. Let's see what the highest 167,000 in 24-hour volume on S Flare wrap flare. That's the biggest one. Now 166 here, wrap flare USDC on SparkDex. TBL is 309,000, which is not bad. Like, a good base is 200,000, 250. This is not bad. The 24-hour volume, we ideally would like it to be, as much as the TBL and higher. But in any case, it would have been nice to know what that 24-hour volume was there. What do we got? 309 here. We got 209 there. We got 440 TBL here. But the volume is only 15 on BlazeSwap. This is a better volume TBL ratio over here. This has a higher fee over here, 0.3. Anyway, I'm digressing. But it would have been nice to know the 24-hour volume here. But that TBL 1 million is nice. So you're going to get a fee of 8%. for people going in and out. That's great. Obviously, it's the Steer protocol pool. And it's 125,000 in Joule for this. So there's no RFLR. So Kinetic is, taking advantage of this, SparkDex as well. And it's a couple of things you have to do. I have not entered this pool. But if I was to enter, I would take my WFLR. It's not financial advice. I'm just saying what I would do and turn it into SFLR. Maybe single-sided and enter it. I'm not really sure. But in any case, the rewards, I could probably still do double. Again, if I was to enter this pool and get rewards, I would probably take some of that Joule and turn it into something else. I would, that's what I would probably do. Because $1 million in TBL is nice, and it's got an 8% fee APR. That's, it's not bad. Right? So that's not bad. And it's 0.3 to come in. So, that's pretty good. It would be nice. It's really good. It would be nice to know the 24-hour volume here. And I would probably turn the Joule into something else. That's just me. I would probably turn the Joule into something else. That's what I would probably do. But in any case, any of you guys in that pool? Ysph says, I don't remember. You don't remember Dave? I remember Dave. I can't remember his name, though. The name he used to have for YouTube and X. So, but any of you guys in that pool? The S-Flare Joule pool, anybody in that? Pooky says, can you mint the FBTC yet? Yeah, you got to get a certain amount of FBTC. There's a minimum in order to be able to mint. So I feel like you have to go to the test like 4 or 5 days in a row and then kind of do that. Joseph said, nope. I remember Dave. His name was Dave. He used to be on Brad Kimes, would have him on, and they would do live, I don't know, whatever they would do, Q&As and stuff. Always seemed like a smart guy. But I just can't remember his name. I can't remember. But he did courses and some other stuff as well. Legendary says, I have about $500 in that pool. All right. $500. And how are you liking the rewards? Legendary, if you don't mind sharing. And are you keeping the Joule rewards? And maybe staking it? What's your strategy? Ysph is in the building. What's good, bro? Yeah, I don't know if he wore glasses or not, Pooky. But you might be right. I mean, he was an older guy when he was checking in back then, right? Now it's just years and years and years ago. What's going on, Ysph? Get his name. So I don't know the strategy, but that's probably what I would do. Legendary says, I'm rolling the rewards right back into the pool. I hear you. Oh, gotcha. I hear you. I hear you. So, yeah, so that's kind of what I would do. I would be getting the rewards. And I would be trying to get more FLR and SFLR. But that's what I would do, probably most likely. Again, I just don't know enough about the token. I know about Jewel, I know about Key. Yeah, right. I know that. But I think the greater value is in FLR. Nothing much, says Joseph. I just been watching the chart and looking for a bounce. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I think it's coming soon. Question for you. If you guys, that's kind of an interesting question. So I was thinking about something, and it's kind of got me wondering, just thinking a little bit. Like, if you were in a position to borrow cash at 5%, you could borrow cash, 30 nasty fiat at 5%. This borrow is guaranteed to you as an owner. So like your ability to borrow is guaranteed. And you borrow at 5% or less, sometimes 4%, 5%. And you could borrow that money and get Bitcoin, which returns 40 to 50% year over year. And when you get your 40 or 50%, you pay back the loan at 6 or 7%, or maybe even 8%, or maybe even 10%. And when you pay back the loan, it gives you more borrowing power the following year, plus some other benefits. So I'm thinking about, first of all, I'm thinking about access to capital at 5%, guaranteed. I'm thinking about the return on investment for the right asset. Of 40 to 50%. Sure. Could you take the borrowed money and go further down the risk curve to Solana? Sure. Or ETH? Sure, you could. But if you're borrowing at 5 and the numbers are factual at 40 to 50% year over year return, it's year over year, 40, 50%. There's no guesswork. Those are the numbers. I don't want to use the word guarantee, but these are the numbers, year over year return. Used to be 100%. Then at one time it was 200% year over year return. Now it's 40, 50% for Bitcoin. So you guaranteed access to capital, no credit check, no interviews, no interrogation at 5%, access to capital. You can get into the asset and get 40 to 50% year over year, even with the 70 to 80% downturn. So let's just say it's 50%. You pay back what you borrowed. You have the option to pay it back at 5% or higher, because the more you pay back, the more you have the ability to borrow. And some other benefits, like increasing the value of your asset over here from where you're borrowing. I keep thinking to myself, I'm borrowing at 5%. I'm making 40 to 50%. I'm paying back 6, 7, 8%. I'm increasing my access to capital by doing that, with the option of not paying it back. With the option of not paying it back if I don't want to. I'm just thinking to myself, And I can do that as often as I want. Probably wouldn't do it any more than once a year, but I could do that as often as I want. What is you guys thought? What are you guys' thoughts on that? Hold on. Legendary said in the SparkDex, you can check the aggregated analytics for the total volume. It's in the million on the lower left. Yeah, I saw that, but is that 24-hour volume? Hold on a second. I just want that 24-hour volume. Let's see analytics. Ouch. Hold on, let me share this. Is this what you're talking about, Legendary? Is this what you're talking about, bro? Yeah, aggregated analytics right here, right? I would just really like that 24-hour volume. I'm sure this is what you're talking about. All right. Pooky says, what's your long-term plan for Flare, Siege? My long-term plan for Flare is to participate in the DeFi ecosystem with my FLR. I will not be me personally, if I take any profit at all on FLR, any, it'll be 1%, 2%. It will not be a lot. That's just me. I think personally for me, I think Flare is a 3 to 5 year play. I really want to grow with this ecosystem personally. I feel like that this is a place that I can stay for years and grow with it and get to know the team over at Flare a little bit better, get to know the team at Kinetic a little bit better, get to know the team over. This is kind of, I feel like they have good long-term potential for growth, relationship building, community building. That's kind of how I feel about that. That's what it feels like to me. It really does. And watch you go on his journey as a CEO. I think dude's learning how to be a CEO. I think that comes with ups and downs and bumps and bruises, and sometimes it looks pretty and sometimes it don't look so great. But I'm encouraged by his journey, and I think he's doing number one, the right thing for the right reasons, but doing good things. And I think that's important. So that's kind of how I see it. Again, if I take any, I'm still having to deal with the courts with the, little 6 figures of FLR I had over on Celsius. But that's what I'm doing. And so in 2026, I will be buying FLR for sure. Because I just kind of, I feel like everything looks like I don't know. Everything just kind of points to $7 and $10, and then it just another project, another concept, an idea coming on Flare, another project coming on Flare. I don't know. That's what it just feels like that way to me. That's it. You know what I mean? They know the lane they're in. I mean, hopefully, but that's how I see it. And so that's what I'm doing. I feel it's a project and ecosystem worthy of my dirty, nasty fiat. That's how I see it. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if I decided to do a 4-figure DCA into FLR in 2026. Wouldn't surprise me at all if I decided. I'm not doing that now, but it wouldn't surprise me if I decided that I would do the same thing like I did with XRP. It's got more of its act together. It's got more of we say in business all the time, you have to know who you are, right? You have to know who you are, know where you're going, and know how you're going to get there. And that's what Flair feels like to me. So that's what it feels like to me. So for me, that's what I like. That's what I've been blessed outside of crypto with in those kind of environments. So, and this is what Flair feels like to me. So it wouldn't surprise me if I was like, I just tell Miss Crypto C's, this is what we're going to be doing here, and this is where we're doing it. Yeah, and do a DCA like that for a period of time. Because it just feels like that. Yeah. So that's just kind of my thinking, just kind of that's what it feels like to me. It's just, Ysph says, I took a loan out from Chase in November of 2022, and I put 5K with it and bought my second Bitcoin. Oh, nice. And I paid back the 10K last Christmas around New Year's Eve. Nice, right? Ysph says, you are on point, Siege. It's just the timing. You get the loan and what phase Bitcoin is in. It's just the timing. You get the loan and what, right? Is exactly right. That's what exactly right. Because here's what I'm seeing right now. And we don't know yet, right? But what I'm seeing for Bitcoin is somewhere between 150 and 200,000. That's what I'm seeing. But the asset class, it's still an up and to the right type of deal. Even with a 75% pullback, it's still an up and to the right thing. So the only question now is whether or not we're going to do like a triple top. That's going to be it. 75 is going to be the highest we're going to get for this run or not. That's the only real question. That's really the only real question. And so that's what he means by, if you got some dirty nasty fiat, I'm just saying if I got some dirty nasty fiat at 5% and I got BTC now at 54. If I did, I'm just saying, I'm not telling you guys to do, I'm just thinking out loud. If I did that, right? When I got BTC, I say I bought $10,000 worth of BTC. Now, right? And what if it does 150? That's essentially 3x, right? What if it doesn't do that? It's still 40 to 50% year over year. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. It's still that. it seems like everyone's situation is different. Like everyone is not right. Everyone, right? Everyone is not in that same setup that I'm in. Like some people, like if they go somewhere else to get access to capital, there is an interview, there is a credit check, there is you know, paperwork and time consuming nonsense, right? There is that. Um, there is no um, if you borrow with us and pay back at a higher rate, you get access to more capital. And although, by the way, the asset that you have over here with us has increased in value because you paid it back at a 1% higher than you needed to, or 2% higher than you needed to. Not everyone's in that same situation. This is a particular asset that allows you to do that. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, that feels like a win-win freaking win. Like it really does. Like it's good for me. It's good for, it's good everywhere. Now, I'm not sure if I would do that in invest in BitTensor or invest in Render or Caspa or Sui. I'm not sure I would do that. In fact, I'm sure I would not do that, right? Because there's more downside risk to that. Even though like there's more, that's the key, right? Even though there's potentially more upside risk, there's also potentially more downside risk to that. Where it's not that way with this particular asset that is called Bitcoin. So kind of how I'm looking at it. Yosef says you thank you, bro. You are an intelligent man, a thinking man, right? Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And again, I'm just thinking out loud because I would never suggest anyone go take out a loan to get into the digital asset space. What I'm saying is, there's like this unique thing over here where I can do that, right? And in the end, it's 40 to 50% year over year. It's not, never mind the 3 to 5x, never mind that. I mean, right? Never mind that. And what you can do, like someone, when I think about it, you could start out with like $1,000. You could start out with like $1,000. You could start out with you could start out with 1,000. You can get that asset that gives you 40, 50% year over year. You can pay it back 6, 7, 8%. It increases your everything over here. It increases everything. And then now you could do 2,000 the following year. You could do 2,000 the following year. The 5% doesn't change. If it changes, it goes down. Okay, which is crazy. And you could just, you understand? You could just keep doing that. Like, I know people who do this particular thing, they do it in real estate. They take advantage of this and they do it in real estate. Now, I'm not, that's not my game, but they do it in real estate all the time, like all the time. Banks do it, by the way. Banks do this very thing I'm talking about all the time with the same tool that I'm talking about. Banks do it all the time. All the time. Which is crazy. But anyway, same thing, same tool or slant asset. They do it all the time. Banks do it all the time. But I was just thinking about it. I was like, man, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Yeah. He says, "Yep, LOL, you're totally correct." It's a great 5 to 7 year plan for someone just starting out and don't have much capital. Bingo. There it is, bro. It's right there. It's right there. And the awesome thing about it is it'll help you learn the game. Like it'll help you learn it here because it's a very low intensity risk management. Real estate, you, you know, that's that's the high risk management, like intensity. Like you got to be on point. You got to be on your toes. Yeah, it's a lot of gray matter going on over there when you're having to deal with the real estate game. You know what I mean? But dirty nasty fiat to Bitcoin. And Yosef says, by the way, too, if you go by with a bank, you can build your credit as well. You know, the only part is you got to do that little ugly, you know, that little. Now, if you got some assets at that bank, maybe you don't have to do the whole, you know, interviewing thing. You still got the credit check part, but I'm not suggesting doing it. I'm saying I got something. I don't have to do credit checks, and all right, I don't have to. All right, I'm not jumping through hoops, and you know all that. It's guaranteed, right? And so, but it's just kind of a smart thing, and I'm going to do it just to be on that journey, just to be that on that kind of journey, right? Um, yeah, just kind of being on that journey, so that Yosef said people can use their whole life insurance also. Yeah. Yeah. The ones that are structured properly. Correct. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. Yosef. That's exactly right. That's exactly the tool that I was talking about. Exactly the tool I was talking about. And yeah, and it feels like a really nice way to build up stuff. It's like you're building up. You know, it's not just building up capital. There's a sense of knowing who you are and where you're going when you do that with a strategy. There's a sense of when you go back to the paying it back part, and you have these options of number one, paying interest only, or number two, paying at the rate that you borrow, or number three, paying at a higher rate, because you understand that how that works and why you want to do that. There's a level of empowerment, I think, in doing that. There's a level of empowerment. When you think yourself, I think there's a level of empowerment that people need. I talk about a channel all the time, how I don't like any of those financial stuff out there. And I always say, I got one financial instrument, that's it, right? I always say dividend paying, right? I always say dividend paying policies, right? Paying it back increases the dividend values. It's an odd thing. It's a nice thing. And there's a level of empowerment to it. But I just wanted to get some food for thought from you guys in reference to the Bitcoin play, in reference to the BTC play. So I'm wondering if that would help you get more BTC I don't want to use the word faster, but it would help you get more BTC. So you're right, Ysph. It would matter. A lot of it would matter on in the phase and where Bitcoin is. But it's interesting. Yeah, I'm going to do that just to share that journey with you guys. I'm going to do that. Ysph, there you go. Ysph said, yes, I agree. LOL. I got lucky and caught Bitcoin at its lows. And I was running solely off confidence in Bitcoin going up. Thank God it did. LOL. Yeah. Yeah. I was just thinking. It's kind of making sense. It's kind of making sense. And it makes me think, again, a certain level of empowerment, but it feels like this feels like a power play. It really does feel like a power play. Maybe, maybe you didn't get like Ysph, you didn't get the Bitcoin at the low. Maybe you were part of the XRP hopium and you had a chance to get 3,000 and 6,000 and 8,000 and 20,000 and 30,000 Bitcoin and you didn't. And you didn't. I feel like it's a way to catch up. Because of the access to capital. And it's a 3-5 day deal. I mean, they still live in the golden olden world over there. But yeah, it's still 3 to 5 days. You know, I mean, it's faster than I think banks, but I feel like it's a way to, I want to just say get more Bitcoin. I don't want to use catch up. That's right. Ysph says, I must say, I have more confidence now. Come the next bear market, I'll block out the noise and the FUD and just focus on accumulating. Yeah. Again, it's just something about that 40 to 50% year-over-year return and 5%. It's just, I mean, they just kind of go together. And the cool thing will be, again, I haven't done this before. The cool thing will be, yeah, I know I could pay it back at 5%. Yeah, I know I cannot pay it back. But I'm going to pay it back at 6% or 7% or 8%. This year, I'm going to pay it back at 6%. Next year, I'm going to pay it back at 7%. The next time, I'll pay it back at 8%. You understand? Feels a little empowering. It really, really does. I hadn't done it because most of the examples that I had around using that tool was around real estate. And I was like, real estate. Now I got to get into a whole new mindset and skill set with managing real estate. I was like, I don't want to. Now, I'm just saying for me, I don't want to get into that thing. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just for me, I don't want to get into. But Bitcoin? Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna let you guys know about that journey too. I'll share that with you guys on the channel for sure. I'll definitely share with the Patreon group. It's just something that I've been thinking about the last couple of days. And it's just like everything was making me like, I'm listening to Preston Patient. I'm listening to When Shift Happens, and I'm listening to What Bitcoin Did. And I'm just listening. I'm listening to Gary Cardone, and Gary Cardone keeps talking about Gary Cardone and Peter Dunsworth. They keep talking about one's talking about, but they keep talking about how empowered you are as the BTC holder. And Gary Cardone's talking about, he's talking about big play. He's talking about, I'm gonna call you up at about 11:45 on a Friday and say that piece of real estate that you got for sale is you're not going to be able to sell. I want about 35% on that, and I got the money right here, and it'll be to on. I'll get it to you in about 30 minutes. That's what Gary Cardone was talking. This 150 million in real estate, so you can't seem to get going, and you're coming up on that, deadline. I want about 35 to 40, 30 to 35% off. Here's the money right here. He keeps talking about getting a premium on your Bitcoin. He keeps talking about that. He keeps talking about that. But anyway, I'm going to do it. Yep. It's interesting. All right, fam. So there it is. I appreciate you guys. I was just thinking out loud. Yeah, I was thinking out loud because right now would be a good time because it's September. That could be a September to September thing. That could be really good timing. In fact, that could be so good of timing that the first payback could be 10%. That's what I'm thinking. Here it is, plus 10% on that. Interesting. All right, fam. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys big time. Appreciate checking on a Saturday. I know it's football Saturday. Got some college football going on. Had some tennis going on. Appreciate you guys checking in. As always, do me a favor. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, if you wouldn't mind, do so on the way out. Again, we're trying to get this channel out to more people, the average Joes and the average Janes out there don't know about this new asset class that's being built right underneath their noses. And you can do your part in helping us get this channel out by just hitting the like button and commenting on the video. That would be super, super cool. I'm going to end this live stream like I do all of my... Oh, thank you, Ysph. Ysph said, great perspectives and conversations. Thank you, man. I'm going to end this live stream like I do all my live streams and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to ponder it. And I would ask you to consider this, or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.
Bye.